Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to episode 22 of Ask Broman. 22. That's I keep getting momentarily struck with disbelief as the time passes and we start doing more and more episodes. Like, feel like we just started this yesterday and now we're on episode 22 and it's wild. It's wild. But enough of me talking about bullshit. It is Sunday, December 15th. We're recording this live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Professor Broman. If you ever want to tune in, that's where you can find us. You can ask some questions. And I did say us as in the royal we, because I am, of course, narcissistic. It's true. So let's get going. Let's grab this guy first. He's earned it because he is a very kind person. Hello, Stan HCA.
Hi, Broman.
Hello. How are you?
Doing good.
I'm doing great, sir. What can I do for you today, since you've already done so much?
My question today is, what do you personally do whenever a creative spark kind of dimmers or kind of goes away, like where you're in a place where you're kind of lost where you want to go?
Sure. Okay. So what do I do when I'm lacking motivation, or what do I do when I feel like I don't have the ability to just be creative anymore?
A little both.
Okay. So I got two things. When I feel like I'm at like a diminished capacity to create, right? Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, I'm like, I have a roadblock, or I feel like I'm mentally stopped up and I just can't get past it. I take a break completely from what I'm doing and I do something else that's like entirely different. There's been a lot of, or there was some interesting, I guess, behavioral studies that were done that show there's a really great parallel between your logical and analytical side and your creative side. So what I do, and I don't know if it's bullshit or not, but it works for me, is whenever I'm like really stopped up creatively, I just try and go out and I try and learn something really practical. So, I'll go read a science journal article. I'll learn about astrophysics a little bit more, or like physics or quantum theory or something, because those things fascinate me. Mm-hmm. And I find that as I like get into these structural underpinnings of the universe and like understanding, the size and scope of things, it sort of removes these barriers that I have. And that's what works for me. So I tend to encourage people, if you're feeling stopped up creatively, quit trying to create and just go out there and like absorb some stuff, like other people's content, or something that's completely not even related to what you're doing. So I can't think of something that's further removed from like entertaining people by playing video games and quantum physics. They're pretty far apart. So that's what I do there. Do you got any follow-ups to that?
No, I think that's a great idea. I haven't thought of going out and looking at other things that aren't in that creative mindset, or more in the outside of the creative mindset, and something else to do. To keep the mind busy.
It helps a lot more than people realize. And I'm a stubborn son of a bitch, but anytime I'm like, fine, I guess I'll just learn something, it literally is inside of an hour. I feel like all my creativity has come back. So It works for me. But it's so easy when it's something you're interested in. So, like I said, for me, it's astrophysics, it's other stuff. But for you, it could be, I don't know, clown college. Like, I have no idea. So don't feel like it has to be one thing. Find your thing. So that's that. And then the second part was, how do you keep yourself motivated or keep going? Do you have like a specific, are you experiencing a specific lack of motivation in something you're doing?
Yes.
Okay. Can you get more specific for me so I can give you really, really good, valuable advice?
Streaming. Like, I'll be like doing a bunch, and like I'll do a bunch of time, then I'll burn myself out, and I just have the motivation after doing so much of it, and just life kind of bearing down on top of it as well.
Yeah. Honestly, rework your schedule. Okay. And don't push it so hard. That was something that took me a long time to learn, just to not push it. Like grinding and getting out there and chasing your dreams, cool. But if you're pushing so hard that it makes you give up on your own dream, you need to reevaluate on a personal level. Like, what is the best structure for you? So, I used to stream 18 hours a day, every day. If I did that now, I would be miserable.
Yeah, I remember like you talking about that. That just amazed. Like, dang, 18 hours. It's so hard.
And I'm not telling people that's like, I did that because that felt fulfilling to me. If that was draining, then I shouldn't be doing it, because it would diminish the quality of what I was doing and it would make me less effective in other areas of my life. So I think that it's really important to find a schedule that works for you. And if like you have dreams and aspirations, you want to keep grinding, and that's why you're like, fuck, I don't want to give up on this. I want to keep going. I get that. But there's more than one pathway to being successful when it comes to entertaining folks. And streaming might be your ultimate dream, but doing supplemental things to that also help keep you focused and inspired is totally valid. And I don't feel like, especially on Twitch and in the live streaming space, I feel like that's not talked about very much. Having a thriving YouTube channel, if you take 3 hours a day to make a nice edited YouTube video and that feels good, make that part of your day. It'll make your stream feel more valuable. For me, what used to kill me was my stream was all I had. Okay. This is real practical in the dirt stuff. Okay. My stream was all I had. So if my stream went good that day, life is good. If my stream went bad, my stream is shit. Now I have a butt ton of things that I get to focus on every day. I have this podcast. I have my YouTube channel. I have Guardian Con. I have King's Coast. I have, a wife. I have, relationships with friends, things that I did not have when I started for one reason or another. And at first, it took me a long time to recognize those other things' value. But now I find myself having all these options, so I get to wake up every day and I get to choose. And freedom is incredibly important to me. So I used to feel trapped, and it made me resentful that I was streaming so much. Like I was living the dream and I hated it, right? So clearly I needed to make a change.
Okay.
Now I never feel like that anymore. So my second point of encouragement for you is, if you're feeling unmotivated but you want to keep it going, rework your schedule. Find some other creative things that you're interested in. Take the 20, 30 hours that it's going to take to learn how to do that well. You can do it in an hour a day, and it just takes a month, And then now you have these other options that you can pursue, and all of it is positive. You're never going to end up with a net negative if you're continuously pushing yourself to learn and to improve and to create different styles of content.
That helps a bunch. Helps me get this mind thinking about what I could do.
Yeah, I love it. That's that's good. I got stuck in that place for 2 years, where I really felt like I was trapped and I didn't know what to do. And it took me a long time to recognize it. And I'm so unbelievably fucking happy that you asked about it today, because it's the worst. And I think that it stalls people's careers out so much.
Definitely is,
because they just get in a creative funk, and then they think, well, I lost it, so I might as well just go back to whatever. You didn't fucking lose it. If you had it, it's there. What you lose is the passion or the focus or the drive, or you stop taking risks, so it feels bland again. Yeah, I could talk about this all day, but there are other folks. Where can all of these fine people find you?
They can find me at twitch.tv/StanHCA.
HCA. All right. Where else?
Twitter.com/StanHCA.
About it. You got an Instagram?
I do not have an Instagram that I promote.
You got a Facebook page?
I mean, I have my private Facebook page.
Have you considered streaming on Facebook Live? I've been like...
I would, but I'm an affiliate.
You can still do it. You just can't do it at the same time.
I thought the contract.
You have a 24-hour lockout period on any content you create first on Twitch, is how I understand it.
Okay, so like I have to do the broadcast or record the broadcast separately as well, and then put it up there.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just, basically Twitch's thing is that the content's on Twitch first is how I understand it. I'm not a lawyer, don't quote me, but that is how I understand it, yes.
Okay. Thanks, Broman.
Hey,
I
man,
appreciate the help.
Anytime, dude. If you've got any other questions ever, just hit me up on Twitter, man.
Will do.
At Professor Broman. I'm pretty sure you already follow me, but just in case.
I do.
All right, my dude. You have a great day, Stan. And thank you for being so kind to me and everybody in chat today with all the gifts, dude.
The emotes?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
with all the
cool.
emotes, man. You're an incredible human. I wish you nothing but success, sir.
Thanks, bro, man.
Thank you, dude. Later. Talk to you later. Stan is a good guy. He's been around for a long time. He's a great guy. Let's grab Yaga Gaming. I don't believe we've talked before. Hello, Yaga Gaming. Hello. How are you? We might be experiencing some technical issues where it is impossible to unmute your microphone. But let me tell you, if you dream it, you can do it. You can unmute that microphone.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Sorry, I didn't realize that I was muted.
It's okay. It's all right. That's why I like to give inspirational speeches about microphones sometimes.
Yeah, my microphone did it. It did the thing.
What can I do for you?
Well, honestly, I've just been in an interesting patch in life where I'm in high school, so I can't necessarily get a job as a streamer yet. I mean, it'd be hard, but I'm just kind of wondering how you began, because I know you went through a ton of different jobs and went kind of totally on something that was not streaming. And did you ever really think about did you ever think you were gonna stream when you were working in
no I mean, I always thought that it would be cool. I used to watch Rooster Teeth all the time, and I was like, oh man, playing video games and making dumbass videos, I could do that. But it wasn't I didn't have this immense passion for it until I started actually streaming. You know what I mean? For me, and I've gone over this a few times, I got started on Twitch because I got really passionate about the charity side of Twitch and seeing how I guess I saw the fucking potential on Twitch of how much money you can raise when you have 20, 30, 40,000 up to even 100,000 people all at the same time.
I know.
Actively engaged in a community to raise money, and I wanted to be part of that just to see how it would feel.
That's amazing. Honestly, that's something that I agree. I am passionate about that, because I have a lot of different streamers that I follow and watch that do 24-hour live streams. Not something to the full extent of Guardian Con, but it's just amazing how much they can raise for a certain charity.
Oh yeah, I mean, charity work on Twitch is incredible. It's some next level stuff. So that's what got me inspired. But you actually said something, and I wanted to address it because it's wrong. Just because you're in high school doesn't mean you can't make content. I mean, if you're under the age of a terms of service limit or whatever, which you don't sound like you are, then you can't. But I mean, you don't have to operate the way everyone else does when you look at a space. You can do things differently if you want. So what do you feel like about all of that is holding you up?
I don't know. I'm a swimmer, so I'm pretty busy.
Yeah, you are.
That's a pretty strange schedule. But I mean, I had an old computer that I saw PUBG and I was like, oh man, this is a fun game. So I played it on that. And then when I saw Destiny 2 was being released on PC, I was like, all right, this is the time. I'm going to build a computer. So I built one, and its stream capabilities are pretty good. So, I just kind of every weekend I kind of just sit there and I'm like, well, I'll do the raid, I'll do all this, but I never really think I should start streaming. But I think I'm going to jump into it soon, because honestly, it's something that I just need the motivation for, honestly. And watching you and Gathalion and Kevin and all those guys every week just kind of, I think, give me that motivation.
Another thing that you can do, just so you know, is like streaming is like I said, it's part of the puzzle, but it's not the whole thing. You know, the fact that you're a swimmer and all this other stuff, like you can get out there on Instagram every day, and you can get out there on on Twitter and everywhere, and just share your story. You don't have to be this one-dimensional thing, on Twitch. You can do a lot of different stuff, and it all adds. It's all cumulative. It all adds to your success. So, what if you started posting about all your swimming shit, and then all of a sudden now everybody pays attention to you for that on your Instagram or whatever, and then you're like, oh, hey, I also stream on Twitch. Now you are not starting from zero on Twitch like you might have been before. Documenting your life every day has value, especially in the long term, because that's basically what you do on Twitch every day. Is you're just like, all right, well, this is the game I'm playing, and you got your normal everyday life, and you're just having people join you for the gaming part of your life. Yeah,
that's true. It's funny because all my friends get annoyed because your wife actually follows me on Twitter, and I'm very yeah. I was like so excited when I saw the notification on my phone, and I was like, Amy, okay. And then I was
now
like,
I'm gonna have to scream at her and be like, why are you following boys? Shit.
I was like, wait, that's Broman's wife. Oh my gosh. But like, just seeing like the community and everything is just amazing, because like all my friends get mad at me because I'm just always posting about video games and ranting about Destiny and all this stuff on Twitter. So but
it's perfectly acceptable to start doing what you can now. If you're still if you're really passionate about swimming and you're really passionate about school still, you've got extra time in the day where you can you can pop on for an hour and make a YouTube video or do a quick little stream, and just like I was telling Stan, get used to the practice of doing it. You'll start, even if you don't get to start at the level you want, you will be used to the methodology of it. You'll be used to actually like, this is how I schedule my time. This is how I stream. This is how I set up my audio. So when you're ready to give it a full shot or whatever, devote more of your time, you have this wealth of background information, and you'll be surprised, if you suddenly go from like one kid in your school that just talks about YouTube to the kid at your school that's doing videos every single day. You will be surprised like at the results of that. People will get interested because it is interesting. Most people talk big shit and don't actually do stuff. So that's getting out there and actually just doing it, people will go, huh? And then, oh, wait, you're actually doing it? Oh, well, then let's talk about it. It goes so much further to have practically do it. Like I used to talk about Twitch all the time, but now when I tell people like, oh yeah, I stream on Twitch, like, oh yeah, really? I'm like, yeah, check it out, Professor Broman. They fucking open the shit up and they're like, holy shit, 600,000 what? Yeah. Tell me more. And I don't think that they're impressed by the number when I have that conversation. I think what they're impressed by is that that is the proof, the resume that says this man does this and he does this well. So I would just encourage you to start. You have so much time because you're still in high school. You have so much time in your life to just learn how to do stuff on social media and learn how to do it the right way, not just the way that everyone else is doing it.
Yeah, because then when you actually do it, it'll be easier.
Easier, more effective, all that stuff. Creating content or learning anything, it has an exponential curve. So it feels like you're moving really slow for a long time. And then you hit the curve point where it starts to accelerate dramatically. And the more time you can put in now to push yourself down that curve of learning, the closer you get to, that exponential growth earlier in your life. I wish that I wouldn't have gone to college and just started making content when I turned, 22. After I finished my associate's degree, because that's what I really wanted to do, but I didn't because my family and my group of friends and my social circle, they were all like, no, you need to do this thing, it's great, you'll change the world. And I was like, okay, whatever you want for me, I guess. And I hated it. It took me until I was God, when did I drop out of my master's program? 24, 25 to say, fuck it. fuck it, I can't do this anymore. I have to live life on my terms. So the sooner you can get to that point, the happier you will be. I promise.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Anytime, man. I hope that all of my rambling brought you some sort of value. I feel like you're in high school, so perspective is incredibly important. I wanted to give you mine.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Because I watch it because I've watched you and Githalion, but mostly you for like 3 years now, and it's just seeing these people who are so much older just shows like the power of gaming.
Yeah.
And I think I CC'd you on Twitter on something a while ago, but this guy named I'm blanking out on his name. But anyway, he did this thing, and he goes around and does documentaries on gaming and like stuff like that.
No clip.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Danny O'Dwyer. Yep.
Yeah, Danny O'Dwyer, no clip. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I followed him on GameSpot before, but like the like stuff that gaming can do is just insane. Like, and that's really where my passion comes from. I think is just seeing what people can do.
I think that is an incredibly hopeful view of the world, and it will benefit you incredibly well long term. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm like really excited to hear where you're at in 4 or 5 years. It's going to be really cool. Please go out there and like chase down, your dreams and get after it, because you've got your head on straight, and I can't wait to see what you can do.
All right. Thank you so much, Broman.
Anytime, dude. You have a great day.
You too. All right. I'll keep watching. Bye.
All right. Bye, dude. That guy was awesome. Holy shit. Chat, next time somebody tells you, all right, or any chat, I say chat because this is live, and anyone listening, next time somebody tells you like high school kids, it's fucking all hopeless, it's all worthless, the whole world's going to shit and no one's going to save it, I want you to tell them to come. I want you to tell them to come and listen to this episode and listen to that kid talk. I talked a lot. Listen to him. That was incredible. The perspective of I can't wait to see what this as a medium can do is so right in so many ways, and it is a method of thinking that many adults, many people in the world don't even get to the point where they see something that's new and different and they say, "Wow, I can't wait to see what this can do." It takes a long time to develop that sort of mindset. So Yaga Gaming he's out there. He is, he's like ahead of the curve. If you want to follow him on any social media, it's YAGGA Gaming, I believe, everywhere. Since I was a jerk and forgot to let him shout himself out. Yeah, it's incredible stuff. I get really hopeful when I talk to younger kids because I see a lot of hope in people, and it really brings me hope for the future. I was raised to think that everything was going to go to shit, every year shit's going bad, that's kind of how my parents thought, and everything was always going to be worse. But it's not the case, man. It's not the case. Things keep getting better, and you can be a part of it, or you can just bitch about it. I would prefer you all to be a part of it. All right, let's get this guy. This is Bruzies. Hi, Bruzies. What's up?
Hey, bro, man. How's it going?
It's going so good. Mr. Super Bassy voice. I like your voice and or microphone.
Oh, bassy.
Yeah, it sounds really good. You got a great voice.
It's the first time I've heard that. Dang. Well, thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Well, first of all, just thank you so much for dedicating, part of your life to help us baby streamers out. I've so much appreciated.
It is the least I can do, man.
Awesome. So a little bit about myself. Been streaming for about 3 weeks now, somewhat regularly.
Okay.
I'm a web developer by trade, so I'm pretty comfortable with like creating overlays and integrations. A little comfortable with design stuff, not so much as the development part, but
yeah.
So I have like all these plans for my channel, like all these different things that I have for like retention, like what's going to keep viewers from, making them want to come back.
Cool.
I have these ideas for like, I want to take sort of your formula and Co Carnage's formula and make it my own, something that works for me. and eventually, hopefully, that works for my viewers as well.
Yeah.
So that's great. I have all these plans for stuff in the future. But right now, since I've just started, obviously, the thing that matters right now is first impressions.
Yes.
And that's kind of what my question revolves around. I guess to start off, what is something besides when streams are all about like making money and like, if we could like, have so many viewers, it'd be so great. So I can make so much money. Besides that, what turns you off from a channel whenever you tune in?
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's a good question. So first I'm going to horrify you beyond belief. All right. And then we'll talk about your question, because I think this is an important piece of information for everybody that's listening to this. Yeah. And I know that these numbers hold true on Twitch, and my gut instinct is that these numbers probably also hold true on YouTube and Instagram and a lot of other places where folks are used to making snap decisions. Sure. So from the first moment that somebody tunes into your channel to the moment they hit the follow button, okay, on average, that is 20 seconds. 80% of people will make the decision to follow a channel within the first 20 seconds of visiting the channel. So when you're talking about first impressions, you need to wrap your mind around the reality and curse that on Twitch, you are making a new first impression every 20 seconds. Which is one of the reasons why you have to be authentic, because somebody might follow you because they think that whatever they're seeing right now is who you are. And then they'll come back when maybe you're actually being yourself, and they'll go, wait, who the fuck is this person? You're a fucking piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. And they'll just leave. Or they'll not say anything and unfollow you because they, yeah. So that's one thing. So what turns me off when I tune into content? That's a hard question, because I'm a very easy consumer, if that makes sense. It's really hard to piss me off with your content. It's really hard for me to feel like it doesn't have value. But the only thing I can think of is like, if it's just the only thing that's like a dead no for me is if something's just too incredibly fucking loud. like, it's so loud, I can't. Ow. But for me, I guess I used to be really petty, right? And I was like, I had all these hangups about shit that I thought was and wasn't right, and I would operate on that. And I'm sure there's a lot of folks that are still out there and they're still petty. But for me personally, I look at content creation as an art form, right? Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, I try and approach it with the same mindset I would approach like looking at a painting. I try to see the intentionality of the artist. Like, why are you doing things like this? Why do you think this is good? Why do you think this is bad? What message are you trying to send me? Okay. So like that's what I'm looking for when I look at a stream. Okay. Things that instantly turn me off, you kind of already identified them. These are, just like money grubbing tactics, shit like that. Stuff that it's easier for me to talk about stuff I do like. Stuff I don't like, it's the money stuff. It's if somebody is, and this is a touchy subject too, if somebody is really fucking mad, I have a hard time with it. But like, they have to actually be mad. Like, I use rage as a humor mechanism in my stream all the time, and I'm a passionate guy. So if somebody says something I think's ignorant, I'll go in on them really hard, because I want to make sure that things that I believe are correct in the world, and things that are actually correct are what is expressed in my channel. And my intentions and things like that. Twitch is a weird space for things of that nature sometimes. So for me, if someone's actually mad, or if they're actually mad at one of their viewers, and like, it's not a joke, which it's really easy. And if somebody is, I don't know the best way to say this. If there's a person and they are clearly not appreciative of their community, that's the best way to say it. If they've got like 100 viewers and they're like sad because they only have 100 people watching, I'm probably never going to come back. You know, because for me, I still remember when I had 10 viewers and I thought that was so many people. Like, holy shit, these people, that amount of people couldn't fit in my living room. So that's a lot of people, you know? And I try to keep that humble perspective no matter what I'm doing, because that's how you win, you know, by keeping yourself humble. If you get fancy and you think that you're important and that people should give a shit about you just because you are who you are, that's when you start to lose the game. For me, the analog to this, because I'm a big fan of like hip hop and rap. Anytime a rapper, hip hop artist gets up their own ass and all they start talking about is money and shit, you're like, okay, well, you lost the magic because nothing about who you are is there anymore. And it's sort of that concept. When you're making content, you need to make sure that even as you grow, you are still the person you started out as, or a better version of that. Not someone completely different.
Cool.
Long answer.
Oh no, that's great. Like I said, I've been streaming for like a few weeks, and it's been like I have a friend that he comes in and lurks a bit, and we just kind of hang out. But it's mostly just been me.
Yeah.
And I have no problem like talking to myself. I usually do it anyways, and so
perfect. You're getting a lot. So you got a lot of practice. It's great.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, if I wasn't streaming, I'd be playing by myself anyway, so it doesn't really bother me if I'm.
It's a good mindset.
By myself.
That's where I was when I started. Love it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to like go in with the mindset like I'm throwing all my previous streams on YouTube, so it's like, what if somebody, you know, wants to check out my previous streams and I'm dead silent the entire time? That's not a good first impression.
Ooh, that's a nice little hack there.
Yeah, so
yeah, you're hacking your own brain. You're like, somebody's gonna watch this later on YouTube at some point, and they don't want to watch a silent person. That's good. I like that.
And I'm trying to like keep it toned down. You know, I don't want to myself to feel like I'm entitled to, like, you know, for every viewer that comes in, I should have, you know, X amount of followers.
Yeah,
like that ratio. Like I'm not entitled to that. You know, I should earn that follow.
Absolutely. God. You're really in a good space mentally, just so you know, like, because there's no one to really tell you, but you're in a good place with your mindset, and it's refreshing to hear.
That is amazing to hear from you, sir. Thank you so much. Because I mean that's pretty much the bulk of my question. You know, how do I make it seem like I'm not just another bearded guy that has a positive channel? You know, your viewers have done a fantastic job asking other questions, you know, that promote really good discussion about how to be a good streamer. So that was pretty much all I had for you. Just kind of, you know, how to make my first impressions meaningful. So
yeah, I would another little thing that you could do, just to give you a practical thing, because you're like way ahead mindset wise from a lot of people, and I think that's great.
Thank you very much.
A really practical thing that you could do is have a 20-second like station identification that you have for yourself. Like, hey guys, just, you know, like at the top of every hour, you can be like, guys, thanks for watching today. You know, it's Bruisies. We like to do XX and X here, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Yeah. You know, thanks to everybody who's dropped follow today. You know, I'd love to get to know you a little bit more. So, you know, chat whenever you feel comfortable or whatever. To sort of get you in the habit of self-promotion a little bit, but also like people want to know what you're about, and if you have this habit of continuously talking about it, it's going to go over really well. You know, that's like for me, every time I take a break, you know, I say, you know, thanks for watching, thank you for the follows, subs, tips, whatever. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a good day. I'll see you in 3 minutes, whatever, and then I go take a piss. I don't say that because it's air quotes good business. I say that because it's how I actually feel, and I want people to know that.
Cool. That's a good habit to get into. I'll be sure to try that out.
Yeah, man, for sure. Do you want to let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah. On Twitch, it's twitch.tv/bruises, BREWSES.
Bruises, like brew. I get it. It's a pun.
Yeah.
BREWSES.
Yeah. My color scheme is like kind of a dark gray and purple, which is like a bruise, but I drink coffee, tea, and beer almost every day, so that's kind of where the name came from.
So everything that goes into your body is brewed. I like it.
Yep. Yeah. So that's on Twitch, and then Twitter. Unfortunately, somebody stole my name, so I have an underscore after. It's twitter.com.
Whatever, man. You fucking own that underscore. And then, like,
Yeah.
you know, in a year and a half, this motherfucker will be like, you can't write this name anymore. And then you get it.
Yeah. And they got the account banned. They didn't even use it responsibly.
Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
maybe it'll come back around for you. I'm sorry. So you got Twitter.
Yeah.
Do you have you got Facebook, Instagram, anything like that?
And then just the other one right now is YouTube. You just search Bruises, and then I'm the first channel that's there. So.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for your wonderful questions, and
Thank you, Broman.
thank you for your great mindset.
All right, thank you so much.
I appreciate you, dude. You have a good day.
Thanks.
That what a deliciously refreshing episode today has been. This is nuts. I love it when somebody comes in and you can tell that they've been like doing the work, right? You can tell that they've been out there like streaming or editing videos or whatever, because the questions are so refined. Like, fuck, it's goddamn delicious. It's like a tasty snack. Oh shit, it gets me fired up. All right, let's grab EdEUUpocalypse. I don't believe we've talked to EdEUUpocalypse before, but I do believe EdEUUpocalypse has been in the channel to talk to me for like ever and ever, and he's probably like, fucking finally.
Hi, Broman.
Hi, how are you doing, man?
We have talked, maybe not with chat, but I did meet you at PAX.
Correct. Okay.
Last year.
Yes.
Actually, fun fact: I'm actually more nervous to talk to you here than I was in person.
I am very friendly.
No, you definitely are. I mean, it was great. We hugged it out at PAX. It was great.
Yeah, man. What can I do for you, dude?
So my question is, I have a hard time, I guess, self-identifying myself and feeling self-worth from myself. I don't really know if that makes sense.
Sure, I understand. Keep going.
So as of right now, like I'm nervous to talk to you, even though I've talked to you before, or I don't feel like I'm doing enough or I'm good enough to be streaming. So backstory on me is, I followed you and I subbed to you 3 years ago.
Sure.
And I started streaming right around then too. I invested in like a $1,000 gaming laptop, and it was able to stream, and I streamed League of Legends at the time, and
yeah,
my friends are really into it, and I wanted to really just show the world like all the fun stuff that happens when I play games, because a lot of funny stuff happens.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to when the affiliate program came out, and I was explaining to my dad like, oh, there's an affiliate program, and people sometimes sub to people to watch their content. It's kind of like pay-per-view in a sense, was the best way I can explain
good
it.
Analog.
Right?
No, good analog. Good job.
And then so now here, fast forward again, it's a year later, I graduated college with a chemistry degree. I got a job. I moved 300 miles away from literally everyone I know.
Gotcha.
And I want to make it's a hobby as it is, but I want to make it more, because I know that I want to try and be successful on it. I don't really want to look at it for money, but I do want to have a community kind of like yours, or just a fun community and environment. And
Yeah.
I'm having a real tough time when I get home from work, or even on the weekends, where I say to myself, well, I don't think anyone really wants to watch me, so I'm not going to stream.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, first of all, like, you should be doing it because it makes you happy. And I know that sounds like a platitude, and it sounds like bullshit. It sounds like I'm feeding you a line, but I'm really, really not. Conversely, like, when I started streaming, it was basically the only thing I lived for. Like, I felt like I was drowning when I wasn't streaming, because it was just so fulfilling to me. So either there's going to be something else in your life that's going to satisfy that for you, and it's not streaming, which is totally fine, or you need to get to know yourself a little bit better and understand what it is that you want out of it, and figure out how to connect with it. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. I mean, soul searching was definitely never a thing I really did as a kid, and I kind of just let people kind of control what I've wanted to do. So
that's
I went to
been
college,
there.
and I got a chemistry degree. I mean, I loved chemistry, and I still do. But I decided not to get a master's or a PhD, because usually chemists, that's what they do. As soon as they get out of bachelor's, they go into more schooling, and I really kind of hate schooling, so I just
Sure.
kind of wanted to go into the practical world.
Gotcha.
So, not that I think streaming is the end all be all for me, but I do think it's important, and I kind of want to continue it. So, but I do think soul searching is definitely a thing I need to do.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
just kinda
Well,
wanted to hear it from you.
let me break down a little bit about like what I'm hearing and what I think, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Sure. So what I like about streaming is like it's really cool, and I think people look at it and they're like, wow, these people are like living their own life, they're living their best life, and all this other stuff, right? But the underpinning for a lot of people who have been successful streamers is like it's literally just like I can't do anything else. And not like I can't do anything else like I'm a failure, but it's like I can't do anything else. Nothing else really brings me this much joy. So I guess my encouragement to you is like keep streaming, keep chasing after the stuff that you really feel like this could be it. Because I'm such a huge advocate of taking risks, but I feel like you're in a really unique position where you're totally out on your own, and you're probably feeling a little displaced. After moving away from everything that I've done that a few times as well. My encouragement would be, keep trying streaming, keep trying everything that seems like it might be interesting. But then when you find something that clicks, you'll know it for sure. And it could be streaming. Like it might be the next time you boot up your stream, you're like, oh wow, I fucking get it.
Right.
But it might be another expression of your creativity that you are focusing on. I'm not trying at all to tell you that what you want to do is bullshit. What I'm trying to do is like you need to make sure that what you're doing really is where your heart is.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of it though is anxiety or kind of. No, it's really anxiety and social skills. So like another thing is like I really do this. I really stream and I get on to try and break those habits of me not wanting to talk to people.
Beautiful.
So like I've known you do Ask Broman for the past 20 something episodes, and I've always thought about trying to get in and talk to you, and it comes to me and it's like, well, I get really afraid.
You're nervous,
and so that's like another big part of it. So I mean. Part of it's a hobby, part of it's a way to break fears.
Therapy.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. Streaming has been incredible therapy for me. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so I think you've obviously answered my question, and to just keep going with it. I think that I can't really think of any other questions. That was really it for now. But I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us and talk to me.
Well, yeah, of course, man. One more thing, and I'm just spitballing based off of your knowledge base. Maybe something that would really connect for you, since you're already like, taking risks with making content and things like that. You know more about chemistry than most people. People always need shit. They need chemists. They need new shit. Like, I would try my hand at inventing things if I was you. I don't know. Have you ever thought about that? You ever thought about being like, man, what I can do is I can fuck around and like, make a wallet.
Yeah. So,
something.
My father used to always say when I first started college, he was like, oh, you're going to make the next synthetic fuel, right? You're going to move to China and hang out with a bunch of scientists and make, and at first I was like, that seems really far-fetched, Dad. Like, I don't think we're going to go that far.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as I started getting into biochemistry and medicines and stuff like that, it kind of felt more, I do want to help the world, right? That's what I want to do. And
that's good.
Chemistry, I can kind of do things with that. So, and then one of the interviews actually earlier this year before I got my job, the guy told me, he was like, you probably shouldn't find a job, and he should like just start a blog, like just start an idea about, a blog about building things and inventing things. And I actually thought about an invention to stop texting and driving or using cell phones and driving. There's only one patent out there, so I could brainstorm it and maybe make another patent and another version of it. But
yeah,
I definitely have thought about inventing things and helping the world in that sense.
Did you notice how much more confident you were when you were talking about that than you were talking about anything else when we were talking?
Yeah. Yes.
I just wanted to point that out to you. I think that's awesome, and I would really encourage you to keep doing everything. I think that maybe a good thing that you could do, right, with your stream and with all the content that you're going to make, because I totally agree, doing a blog or doing an Instagram thing that shares your thoughts as a chemist on name a fucking activity or idea or concept. I think that that's huge. Folks are always interested in what experts think about something. And while you might not consider yourself an expert, I would, because I don't know jack dick about chemistry. So even if you get on every day and you're making an IRL stream that's an hour long, like Ask a Chemist, or if you're doing a podcast that's like, a chemist thinks, or if you're, doing Instagram posts or whatever. Also, I'm sure all sorts of wacky ass crazy chemical reactions that would make great viral videos. Like, you already know the chemical reaction, and then you just you put like a weird twist on it, like you make a fucking, I don't know, jack-o'-lantern puke rainbows for Halloween. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have a really strong strength you can leverage into all of the content that you're creating. So it's really obvious to me that you're incredibly passionate about science. What I think you need to do is you need to take that passion that you have about science and find a way to put it into your content creation, like, I don't know, spectrum, right? Because the amount of confidence in your voice when you were just talking about streaming video games compared to inventing a random thing that might prevent me from texting while I drive was so stark and obvious that I feel like you need to include that passion for chemistry and invention in all of your content.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a while back. I ran a club in college, and it was actually a computer science club, and I used to run every meeting. I would go, here's a molecule of the week, and I would post that on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, and people found it really interesting. So I tried to incorporate it into my stream, and my friends thought it was interesting, right? And I would put a command into Nightbot, and I would say, here's molecule of the week, and it would have a description of it and stuff like that. But I just I guess I stopped it just because I didn't think I've heard a lot of negativity from college saying like, oh, well, this is a computer science club, why are we incorporating chemistry? And then at the same time, people were like, that's amazing, I want to learn something.
Fuck those
different.
Motherfuckers, man. Nah, dude, those people can eat ass. You are right there with really great ideas, and they fed you bullshit, and I'm so sorry that they did that. Yeah. Please, chemistry's not my world, but this is the magic I talk about with content creation, right? The magic is you take who you are, what you're passionate about, and you turn that into the content that you make. That you basically trade on your authenticity and your perspective, and you have an incredibly authentic perspective about chemistry, and anyone who's trying to stop you can eat ass, and you need to fucking keep going. And if they tell you to slow down, you can go talk to Professor Broman. He will fucking tell you what I think about you, sir or madam. And they'll come up in here and be like, hey, Apocalypse sent me. And I'll be like, oh, he did? Did he say, are you good or bad? Oh, I'm bad. And I'll say, okay, eat ass. Don't ever talk to my friend again.
Well,
I'm passionate about it, man. I want people to get the fuck out of your way so you can live your best life, man.
Right. And that's definitely also something I've noticed, that I just kind of let people control what I do, and I need to stop that. So
that's poison.
Part of it.
That's poison. That is guaranteed to ruin your life and make you so unhappy. Don't let them. I'm excited about whatever sort of chemistry content you're going to put out there. There are people spewing all sorts of ideas in chat right now that I think you should be paying attention to, so I'm going to let you go and let you get back in there and crowdsource some ideas. But thank you so much for calling in and asking, and I'm looking forward to anything that you're going to create. Can you tell these people where to find you?
So I'm on Twitch at EdEUUt. So I tell people it's apocalypse, like the doom and gloom, just with a U in the front of it. It's easier that way. I'm also on Twitter with the same handle at EdEUUt. Instagram, I don't post as much because self-confidence and picture taking is not really my thing. But
man, do videos and shit of crazy ass chemical reactions, dude.
Definitely. So I'm gonna have to start, right?
Yeah.
And then I have some friends helping me, so they told me to also make a Facebook group. So I now have a Facebook group at EdEUUt too. So
love it. Well, thank you so much, man. Everybody out there, give this gentleman a follow. And please, if you are a scientist and you are listening, everything I just said to you, Apocalypse, about him and chemistry is applicable to your field as well. We need more intelligent scientists out in the content space. So fucking take the risk, get a little creative, and put your shit out there. You could be the next Neil deGrasse Tyson. You don't fucking know unless you take the chance. And that goes to you too, Apocalypse.
Of course.
All right, man. You have a good day.
You too.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
Oh my God, dude. What a good day today is. I think we have time for one more question. Looking in this list of people over here, trying to see if there's anyone else. Sounds like chemist. I love Neil deGrasse Tyson. I've seen him speak twice. He's a great dude. And that's Neil's whole speech is an astrophysicist reads the news. Like that's an astrophysicist goes to the movies. Those are the two speeches that I've seen him do, and they're both incredible. Because of the perspective, guys. It's all about that perspective. All right, let's get Red Raider in here. Hello, Red Raider. I hope that you are well and are currently unmuting your microphone. Oh, and if you're not, that's okay, because we have plenty of time, all the time in the world. Unmute that microphone and just like hang out. You can check your audio devices, make sure everything's pointed the right way. You know, you can check your headphones, make sure your headphones are plugged in so you can hear me talking, all that good stuff. Or we could just have to pick someone else, and that would really suck. So let's grab Slow Fuse. What's up, Slow Fuse? How are you?
What is going on, my man?
Yo, you're on top of it. On top of it. What can we do for you today?
Hey, man, like everybody else, thank you so much for doing this. It's only like, I guess 2 weeks ago that I heard the first Ask Broman, and I made mention of it in chat that I thought this was just amazing. We have paid a lot of attention to it since and following it. So good on you. This is awesome stuff. Very good organic conversations that I think just keeps the whole Twitch thing going, man. Awesome.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the kind words.
Today, I just kind of wanted to pick your brain a little bit. My Twitch story, I've been doing this for about 4 years, and I'm a full-time entertainer like yourself, but I wouldn't say that I'm a full-time Twitch streamer. I don't know how much we want to dig into that, but
what kind of entertainer are you? Male stripper?
Well, yeah. It's we do male pole dancing.
Are you fucking serious?
No.
Oh man, I was gonna be so goddamn excited. Oh,
not even that exciting, my friend. We do full-time Twitch. Okay, so I guess what I'm saying is that, as you know, we come from it because we switched over to the creative side about 1.5 years ago when Twitch really started.
What is your actual creative stuff that you do? Sorry.
We paint miniature war game.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Minis. All right, I'm keyed
so
in.
If you've heard of,
I know what you're talking about. Like war, yeah, like war. So, yeah, I got you.
Warhammer. So we do a tutorial. I'm basically a painting teacher. So I teach people how to do everything from manage and understand color and mix color and all that. So it can be boring, it can be fun. We throw in entertainment with it to make the boring stuff palatable, I guess. Is the way to say that.
Sure, of course.
So, but for us, it was interesting because we started like most people do with gaming, and had a lot of fun doing it. And then because of a turn of events, the game that we were playing was a competitive PvP game, World of Tanks, and we were up at kind of the top of World of Tanks streaming and having a blast with it. And then the game itself started to alter its landscape. It wasn't as fun. The developers were having a tough time. The community was rioting. It just became kind of an
I don't know anything
situation.
About anything you just said.
I know,
dude.
man. With Destiny, right?
No clue what you're talking about at all.
Right, but that toxicity starts to kind of invade, right?
Yeah, okay.
So for me, it was at the right time that Twitch was focusing on creative. We switched our gears. We hear a lot of people asking, hey, how do I move from one game to the next? For us, we just moved out of games. And it wound up being the best thing for us as far as Twitch and the business and the entertainment side. But that aside, how do you go about managing those expectations? I've watched you through the Destiny highs and lows. I've seen you switch some games, add in other content. You watch the viewer counts change. As a streamer, especially once you do it full time, as you start into that management of expectations, do you do it? This question has such a wide
There's a lot
range.
of depth. Do
you do it on a daily basis? Do you track? Because, coming from the business world, you track metrics. But in entertainment, those metrics are not trackable all the time because so much intangibility exists for what we do. Like, are you having fun? Know? At the end of the day, if I'm not having fun, then I probably ought to stop doing it or reevaluate. And so that's what we did. And we changed our entire stream up, and it was very hard. We lost all our viewership. We were on the verge of getting partnered at the time with video games, and we just said, screw it, let's change this up, because my evaluation told me it was not healthy for me to keep doing what I was doing.
Gotcha.
But how do you look at that on a daily basis with your community, the intensity that happens in chat and all of that, and just you as a person? You just mentioned you remember streaming with 10 people in chat. How did you manage it then versus now? That kind of stuff.
Well, okay, so first of all, when it comes to managing expectations for the content that I make, as long as there's two ways to look at it. Like for me, as long as the number's not 0, it's a good number. And by not 0, I don't mean like percent growth. I mean like if there's one fucking person in chat, that's fine. But more importantly, like my expectation every day when I turn on my stream is no one's going to show up. I don't expect anyone to show up. If they do, that's a mindset thing. So I'm always grateful for whoever is there. As far as managing metrics, so I used to give a huge pile of shit about my metrics, and I would obsess over them, and I'd look at them every single day. And I would care so much about, oh, well, like I had 10% less growth than yesterday. What did I do wrong? And like, okay, it's great to look inward and try and figure out how you can improve. But I think that when it comes to content creation, that it is self-sabotaging to use your numerical metrics as a measure of your quality. And that is the mistake that everyone makes.
Right.
And as far as return on investment, I'll go back to the reason why I started doing this podcast. Okay. I wanted to do a podcast for a while. I've tried a whole bunch of different ideas, but I never really listened to a lot of podcasts, despite being harassed by all my friends to start listening to podcasts. So I started listening to a couple of business podcasts, and Kevin, our event manager and another one of the co-owners at King's Coast, was like, listen, Ben, you really need to listen to Gary Vee. All right. And I hate it when people tell me to listen to someone because, air quotes, you think like them. So like, right. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Well, fuck that human being. I'm better than them and they should die. So actually,
it also makes you feel like a hero when you go listen to it.
I don't know if this will ever happen, but Gary, if you're ever listening to my podcast ever, and you hear this, you're the reason why this podcast exists. He literally said on an episode, he's like, if you don't know how to do a podcast, just do Q&A. And I was like, and I was like, just do Q&A. And I was like, okay. And then, I started doing it. So it took me a long time to get over my stubbornness and listen to Gary Vee. But the second I started listening to him, I was like, yeah, I love this guy. It's great. But I have a natural aversion to people. I'm stubborn. I don't like when people tell me what the fuck to do. So I'll make up narratives in my head. So anyway, Gary, if you're listening, thank you. And so all that happened, and now I'm out here doing this every day. And the podcast numerically is the least performing or lowest performing form of content I've ever created, metrics wise. It has less total exposure than my Twitter, my YouTube channel, the YouTube videos and Facebook page videos that I do when I put out. This content, like, that doesn't get as much traction, but to me, this is the most value dense thing that I do as a content creator. There is no metric on the planet that, and I didn't really understand this until I started doing the podcast. when you're actually making something that you believe has an incredibly high level of quality, okay, when you actually start doing it, you realize that all those other metrics are bullshit, and the people that are connecting with your highest quality content are the people that actually matter. The people that are going to matter in 10 years to your total growth and to your content. So I think that when it comes to making content on a day-to-day basis, your focus needs to be an internal focused quality check to make sure that you're doing the best that you can. And then you need to evaluate metrics after that. So it sort of flips the traditional business model on its head, because if you're not putting out quality content, the connection that people have with that content is going to either be temporary or it's going to be a one-off interaction. And that's not what you want. You want long-term growth, which means you need to acquire one person who's going to be there all the time, every day, for every piece of content for forever. And so if you play that game, you win. It just takes longer to win. But actually winning always takes a long time. So it's fair.
Yeah,
did that answer your question?
Yeah. No, I think
good.
that's
No, I was like, it was a really long answer. I wanted to make sure I included everything in there.
No, that's what makes this thing so great, is that you can run off on these kind of, tangential things, but it all comes back together because the creative world, I think, is so different. And, we definitely found exactly what you're talking about. I was worried about nonsense, what I look back at now and say was nonsense, but at the time was driving me crazy, right? It was the most real of real for me, coming from the business world and then trying to stream video games as to, okay, how many people were there? What does this mean towards getting towards partnership? There wasn't an affiliate program back then. So we were looking at all those things and then forcing it every time we turned the stream on. And I feel like that is what you miss until it's almost too late as a streamer, because you'll find that, your metrics just get worse and worse and worse, even though you think you're doing better, because you're watching everybody else doing what they do, so on and so forth. And it took us, actually changing what we did entirely, suffering the back down to zero, your bot's your only person in the channel.
I hear Nightbot.
Right. Yeah. So now we have hundreds of people in the
there,
channel,
right?
and we don't even worry about it. We don't look at viewer count anymore. We just have fun in stream. And that's what then is the symbiotic way of getting more and more people involved.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you're having
it's
a good
interesting
time.
to hear how everybody does it. I feel like with the affiliate program now, we have so many people with so many expectations out there of kind of instant gratification. Like, I got affiliated. Now it's going to be, awesome. I'm on my way. And they forget, that whole managing expectations and keeping it personal, like you're talking about sometimes, and not just looking at the.
You can't look at your first paycheck. It's like it's your last paycheck. The guy that started mopping floors and ends up being the CEO of a company did not get so excited on his first day of being a janitor when he got his check, being like, well, that's it, I made it. No, like he had larger aspirations, and that paycheck that he was getting as a janitor was part of the fuel that got him there. Or she was getting as a janitor. All right. I think the point is especially when you're growing as a content creator, you need to realize that just because you start making money, it's not time to cash out, and it's not time to check out. You have to focus. Like I always called getting partnership on Twitch passing the job interview, and now you have to prove that you deserve the job.
Man, it's funny. We've said that a million times. It is. It's like, that's just the opportunity to show who you are. It's not you're done. I think that, if anything, you need to write that on the title, because that is something that so many people are missing. And what I see is a lot of negativity right now between people, not as not the same kind of negativity that we're talking about with like Destiny or as a game, but as a personal thing, the kind that drags you down, that kind that you go to sleep with at night because you feel like you're doing something wrong. Yeah. And that's why this show is so great, because if you can just give one little piece of energy to somebody and tell them to keep their chin up, because, hey, all right, now you got the start. Now let's see what we can do to get it better. I think you're doing great. Awesome, man.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate you coming on and asking such quality questions and stuff. I hope for you guys, as you sort of redefine your movement towards the future of whatever you're doing with your content, that it goes really well. Don't stop taking risks. It's incredibly important. Keep taking chances and try and find that magic that you had like in the beginning, because it's not gone. It's just a matter of finding out the best way to distribute it and then being patient. But do you want to tell everybody where they can find you, my dude?
Oh, it's all easy. Slow Fuse Gaming. you'll see me talking in chat from time to time. I hang out in here every day. But
Slow
we
Fuse on
stream. We're
Twitch.
everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the whole nine. We
All
are
right.
a fully functioning business. Slowfuse.com. Slowfusegaming.com is our website.
Whoa, a
We have
fucking
store and-
website. Okay. Yeah, guys,
We
check
have
it
an
out.
online store.
Slowfusegaming.com.
You got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it.
slowfusegaming.com.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
for your
that's why I say
questions, man.
we're full-time entertainers, but
Yeah.
we use Twitch as a marketing tool. It is not where we try to, and that's been what's made life so much better for us, is that now we just get to have fun with our friends every day.
Having fun with
the
your
rest-
friends is
the
the
rest of the
fucking
business
best,
happens
man.
outside of those hours.
It's what people wants to watch. That's true,
You
man.
got it.
I love it, dude. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man. Have fun.
Have a good one. Oh man. All right. So I want to make a follow-up point because there's a very strong reaction to something that I said while we we're doing this live. Yeah, I am a stubborn son of a bitch, and if anybody ever tells me that there's a person in this world that can help me, I usually tell that person to fuck off. So there are two people in my life, and I've wanted to share this. It's never really been the right time. There's two people that I, in my whole life, okay, that I have really felt like learning from them on whatever level I did was a huge part of me becoming who I am. The first one was when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was a spaz. I had a lot of energy. I have ADHD, and I was fucking just on the walls, bouncing around all the time. And everybody always told me that was wrong, and I was weird, and I should learn to change, and I should shut up and be quiet and calm down. Okay. Then I saw Robin Williams do stand up, and it completely changed my perspective on, I guess, what it means to be a person. And it reminded me that I am allowed to be whoever I am. And as long as I'm not hurting someone with who I am, it's fine. So if this grown ass guy can get up on stage and act like a fool and misquote Shakespeare on purpose and all this other stuff, I was okay with that. So that was me as a kid. And, I went through that, and I finally, I guess, accepted who I was. And interestingly enough, as an adult, I've always had a hard time motivating myself and trying to figure out the best ways to sort of flip those switches in my head. And I didn't really figure it out until I had the same conversation with Kevin that I was referencing earlier. Kevin was like, "You really need to watch Gary Vee. You need to watch Gary Vee. Fucking, you'll get him, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. Fuck you. I hate him and I hate everybody." And I didn't know jack shit about Gary Vee at all. And then I started watching his stuff, and I was like, "Holy shit. I am allowed to be the kind of adult that I want to be as well. I can, I don't have to be Tony Robbins inspiration, happy smile pants. I can be real talk and cut through bullshit and be who I am without having to edit it. And if people don't like it, they can eat my dick." So Robin Williams has unfortunately passed away, so I can't tell him thank you. But if in some universe, in some way, shape, or form, you ever hear this, Gary, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And you are one of two people, even though you never actually talked to me, that I would consider a mentor because I've learned from all of the shit that you've done so much. So yeah, we're going to get one more person in here. We're going to get one more person in here, and then we'll wrap up for the day. Let's grab Red Raider in the chat. Hey, Red Raider, what's up?
Hello.
How are you doing? You got it all sorted out and fixed.
I made it this time. I'm so sorry for last time.
No, it's all right.
How's it going? How are you doing today?
I'm doing so good, bro. So good.
Yeah.
What question you got? What can I do for you?
All right. Well, my question's pretty simple, and I'm not sure if it's been asked before.
I'm sure it has, but it doesn't matter. I mean, or it hasn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got myself on a really good, consistent streaming schedule.
Beautiful.
And my question is, I'm not able to broadcast in 720p, so I do it at a lower 480, 540 if I'm able, but it's just OBS, really chews up a lot of my computer. Am I hurting my brand by streaming, at a lower quality? Not at all.
No, not at all. No.
Just
are you doing the best that you can? Is that's the best you can?
Oh yeah.
You can do?
I get on stream. I have a good time. You know, I hang out with my 1 or 2 regulars that show up.
For sure.
You know, and I have a great time. I have a really consistent schedule. That's always been in the back of my mind is I see my, you know, I go back and I watch my VODs and I see my quality, and it's just like, man, I really, really want to do that good 720 or even 1080, you know, someday. And I just always think, man, is this hurting any chance that I have, you know, to draw in some more. Sorry, go ahead.
You have to, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna interrupt you because you got a lot of worries, but let me explain. Right now, the situation that you're in is making you focus very intently on your quality, right? Like the quality of your stream as you put, like you're the one that's there putting on the stream. You got to be there and you got to be 100% and you got to be as entertaining as possible because there are some quality deficiencies when it comes to the visual signal of your stream. Yeah, long term, like if it keeps growing, that would be part of your upgrade, but I don't think it's hurting you at all to not have, you know, the most beautiful, crispy stream in the universe. I feel like 9 times out of 10, people care more about, you know, the community, the entertainment value, the perspective, than they do about whether or not they can see, you know, every pixel on a, you know, 4K display. So I don't want you to waste emotional and creative energy on worrying about something you can't fix yet. Like, you know, if it's helpful, you could write down a game plan and be like, okay, well, I'm going to work on my internet situation and I'm going to try and get myself to a place where I can, you know, stream in a better bit rate or stream with a, you know, better, you know, encoding or whatever you need to improve to make it happen.
Right. Yeah.
But just because if you make a plan and you work towards it, that's awesome. But you don't have to do it right now. You know, a lot of people watch Twitch on mobile. I mean, the difference between, you know, 1480p and 720p is noticeable, but it's not so noticeable that it's going to make someone turn your stream off if it's good.
Yeah.
I've had people watch my stream when I had 1K bitrate on a 1080p signal. It looked like, you know, like Pac-Man was fighting other Pac-Men. That's what my stream looked like. They didn't care because they were having a good time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just like real talk. That's what was going on with me for sure.
Awesome. And, you know, that's what I've thought about. You know, I've always like kept the whole, well, yeah, you know, there's people who don't have access to that computer, you know, and they've got that mobile phone, you know, that's way more common globally, I'd say, than a desktop computer. So
absolutely. 100%. Yeah. I mean, the end consumer on Twitch, a vast majority of people are watching on mobile, which is why Twitch will roll out these awesome desktop features and everyone will be like, this is going to change the game. And I'm like, yeah, 30% of people have access to that. What changes the game is when they launch mobile features. Then everyone has access. For sure, man. You got any follow-ups?
All right. No, that was really, you know, that was it. And that just hearing that now. Yeah, you know, I am wasting a lot of creative energy worrying about that.
Well, now you don't have to. Feel free. Go out there. We unlocked the treasure chest. Open it up and get all of your great content out of it, man. I love it. I'm happy about it.
I'm so enlightened. Much. Sorry, I'm just like blown away. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm so glad I mean, it's so fun to give answers to people that make them smile. So thank you for calling in, dude. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too, man. Right, man. Thank you very much.
Peace. Holy shit. What a great episode of Ask Broman we had today. I had a good time. I hope you did too. We got into some real talk, man. Real good talk. About me, about you. We covered some really important stuff. I'm blown away. So to wrap up, folks, thank you so much for listening. If you're listening on iTunes or Stitcher or Anchor or I don't know, Podbean or just wherever you're listening to it, Google Play, thank you so much. Please, if you could do me the greatest favor in the universe and rate and subscribe, that'd be awesome. Also, I would love more of you folks that are listening to come in and ask questions from the podcast. So please follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I'm at Professor Broman. in both of those places as well. And if you would be so kind as to follow me there so you can come and tune in, that would be great. And I would appreciate it. Thank you all and have an awesome day. Peace.